The Two Lives in the Second Mountain. Most lives begin in apprenticeship. Long before we know who we are, we start learning how to survive, how to succeed, how to be acceptable. We gather skills, credentials, habits, and scars. We absorb the rules of the game without ever stopping to ask whether it is the game we actually want to play. This is the first life, the life we learn with. The first life has a familiar shape. We build an identity. We cultivate talent. We chase happiness as achievement. We measure ourselves by progress, by reputation, by comparison. This is the first mountain. And it's not shallow work. It gives us competence, confidence, momentum. It offers real rewards: promotion, praise, comfort, recognition. For a while, that feels like enough. But learning is not the destination. At some point, sometimes quietly, often painfully, life interrupts the climb. Success begins to taste thin. Failure knocks us sideways. Loss, illness, grief, disappointment. Something strips away the scaffolding we once trusted, and we find ourselves no longer ascending, but standing in the valley, between mountains, unsure who we are without the roles that once defined us. This is where the second life becomes possible. There's a moment in the film The Natural where Roy Hobbs reflects that we have two lives, the one we learn with and the one we live after that. The line lands because it comes after illusion has been paid for in full, after talent alone proves insufficient, after endurance demands meaning, after love enters as something deeper than ambition. The second life doesn't begin with answers. It begins with reorientation. Down in the valley, something is revealed. Beneath the striving ego lies another layer, tender, wounded, and capable of profound care. Some people shrink from this discovery. They harden into resentment or fear. Others are broken open and made larger. Those who are enlarged begin to sense something unsettling and freeing at once. Happiness was never meant to be the final prize. In The Second Mountain, David Brooks gives this crossing a name. The first mountain is about building the self. The second mountain is about giving the self away. Happiness belongs to the first mountain. Joy belongs to the second. Happiness is pursued. Joy arrives unbidden. Happiness expands the self. Joy dissolves it. Happiness comes from accomplishment. Joy comes from offering gifts. Happiness fades as we adapt. Joy endures as an orientation toward life. The second life is marked by a quiet but decisive shift. People stop asking, "How am I doing?" and begin living in response to a summons, toward a person, a vocation, a community, or a moral cause. This is not a rejection of the first mountain. It is its fulfillment. The skills learned there are not discarded. They are repurposed. Ambition softens into devotion. Independence gives way to interdependence. Identity loosens its grip. Life becomes organized around commitment rather than comparison. On the first mountain we conquer. On the second mountain we are conquered. And over time, something changes at the core. Generosity becomes habit. Care becomes reflex. Fear and insecurity lose their hold. Gratitude, delight, and kindness take their place. What begins as moments of moral elevation settles into moral joy, a steady, luminous way of inhabiting the world. This joy is not a feeling, it is a way of being. The people who radiate it have given themselves away wholeheartedly. Their daily actions align with their deepest commitments. They no longer live to build the self, but to serve what they love. And in doing so, they make their souls incandescent. This is the second life. The life lived after learning has done its work. The first life teaches us how the world operates. The second life teaches us why we are here. And the quiet measure of a life well lived is not how high one climbed, but whether, after all the learning, one stepped onto the second mountain and lived as if love were the point of it all.